Shiloh's recent transformation from tomboy to young lady might reflect what's going on in her family. When Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were still together, Shiloh was a daddy's girl, and we could see the proof of that in her appearance. She used to prefer manly silhouettes and constantly wore pantsuits, tuxedos, and jeans. And both of her parents surprised everyone when they said she wanted to be called a boy's name.
Right now, Shy's in this thing. First of all, she only wants to be called John.
No, she wants to be somebody named Marcus.
But the tomboy phase could just simply be because of Shiloh's closeness with her dad. She was Brad's mini-me, especially if we recall how he looked when he was her age. Even her hairstyle copied ones that her dad had when he was younger. But these days, Shiloh looks much more feminine and glamorous, just like her mum. She has longer hair and wears dresses. She's even borrowed some of Jolie's red carpet looks.
It's their turn, and you say, oh, she looks so much better than I did. It's time.
It could be linked to the fact that she spends more time with Angelina than Brad now. But allegedly, Shiloh's relationship with her mom isn't as good as it appears. It seems like Jolie's daughter is entering a rebellious stage, and this once again shows how much Shiloh resembles her mother. After all, when Angelina was Shiloh's age, she was quite the rebel herself. According to an insider, Shiloh can't wait till she goes to college, and she plans to choose one that's as far away from home as possible. All because Shiloh and Angelina reportedly have arguments almost every day. The main issue is the lack of freedom. Apparently, when her older brothers Maddox and Pax were her age, they could spend more time out on their own and drive a car. Meanwhile, Shiloh still has a curfew and follows a strict set of rules, although she's already 16. She even has a security team that follows her every step and makes sure that she's home by 8 p.m., with no exceptions. But it's easy to understand why Angelina is so strict with Shiloh. She just wants to protect her daughter from the paparazzi and bad publicity. After all, Shiloh's been forced into the spotlight her whole life. She made headlines before she could even walk or talk. Her newborn photos reportedly sold for over $4 million, and she was the first ever baby to become a wax figure in Madame Tussauds. These days, it looks like Shiloh is getting more and more comfortable at red carpet events.
They've been public for their whole lives and start to explore themselves even with their fashion.
It's no wonder why the media has been so obsessed with the girl since her early days. Shiloh inherited a perfect mixture of her parents' beauty, and fans just can't get over it. She has the best of both parents. Pretty good creative genes. She won the good looks lottery. Indeed, the girl has her mother's plump lips and beaming smile. Just look at how much Shiloh resembles a younger version of her mom. Meanwhile, her piercing blue eyes and blonde hair are the exact copy of Brad's. Although she only shows up alongside her mother, Brad is happy to see his daughter enjoying the spotlight. An insider shared that he likes that she's coming out of her shell and has more self-confidence. And yet, we can't help but question what Shiloh's life would be like if her parents hadn't separated. Reportedly, she still stays in contact with Brad and feels torn between her mum and dad. It must be rough that her parents can't find a common ground. What's more, there are rumors that Angelina has forbidden Shiloh from seeing Brad too often. A source close to Pitt shared that he and Shiloh were excited to spend Christmas together a few years ago, but Angelina claimed that separating her from the rest of the kids on holidays would be wrong. It must have been hard for Shiloh to be away from her dad. And yet, her life isn't all about dealing with her parents now. She's growing up and searching for her calling. The dance routine Shiloh recently performed broke the internet, and the number of her fans grew drastically. Hear me out, she's got some clean moves. She's a very good dancer and the cutest ever. You're doing a fantastic job, girlie. It turns out that it's not a new hobby for Shiloh. She's been taking dance lessons for a few years. First from a private teacher, then in a studio, and when the pandemic began, she took Zoom classes. So it looks like Shiloh's taking her passion quite seriously. Meanwhile, Angelina is amazed by her talent and encourages Shiloh to keep doing it, simply because it makes her happy. And who knows? Maybe dancing will become her profession.